Hello and welcome back to Oracle Mystica. Today we have a really fun, hopefully interesting and mysterious and exciting reading. We are going to look into what kind of magic do you possess? So, kind of looking at, I'm breaking this into three-ish parts. Kind of like what kind of magic do we get aid from or help from, or is sort of like gifted to us or channeled into us from like higher realms. So things that are a little bit harder to explain and very mystical and ethereal. And then what kind of magic, more base like animalistic, humanistic, what kind of magic have we cultivated through experience and practice and impulse and instinct that we, even though it's still magical and a little unexplainable, it's like a little bit more like easy to see maybe like why you have this kind of magic because it's something you've sort of developed more consciously. And then at the end, we're going to do some, another card with some tarot to see how best these energies are used in your life, just some sort of guidance around how to use them. And also, like, potentially, we'll see how it goes, but potentially how you can integrate them or, bring the more ethereal stuff more down to earth and the more humany, animalistic stuff more into that. Really that ethereal realm to be a little bit more enchanting. Okay, so we've got four piles, and I've pre-picked all of the oracle cards. The tarot, the stuff at the end, we're gonna do on camera, but there were just a lot of oracles, so I didn't want to spend so much time kind of shuffling while you guys waited. So piles are mostly picked. There's four piles. So pile number one is a bone carving of, I believe, like a buffalo. This looks like a buffalo carving to me. Really cool. I got at a gallery that sells really amazing kind of Native American art. And then we've got this brass turtle that I got also in the desert at an antique store, and he said it was from India. Who knows? And then this feather, just a teeny guy. It's a little dove feather. It just like fell right into my hands one day from the air. So, even though it's just like a silly common feather, that just felt special, so I'm sharing that with you guys. And then this kind of mystical hand that I got in kind of like a mystic shop that's like a bookmark as well, so maybe some knowledgey things. We'll see. Who knows if these symbols have anything to do with what will come through, but they are here to help kind of draw you into an energy of a pile. So take a couple breaths to really get centered and push into your like higher mind. So take a deep breath in, hold it at the top, and then out through the nose. Another deep breath in, hold it at the top, and out through the mouth. That, like the kind of taps you into that crown chakra too, which like really opens you up to kind of divine inspiration, which could really help you pick your magical pile. So if you need more time, this is where you should pause to tune into the piles and decide which one is for you. And we will start with pile one and then move on through pile two, pile three, pile four. All right, see you guys in your piles. Hello, pile one. If this is you guys, you picked the bone carving of the buffalo. And we will just put this guy over here as a little token for us in the reading. Okay, so I've got, let's see, we're going to do this pile second. The first cards I pulled are kind of the magic that that's a little bit more ethereal, that you have access to. Like, what are the keys you hold, the portals you hold, the gifts you hold in terms of higher energies being able to either download into you, or you being able to channel through them, or just like really mystical, mysterious gifts that you don't really know why you have. We're just going to kind of take a look at, what's going on with some of the more unexplainable magic you possess. Ooh, oh my gosh. Aphrodite, inner sun, wind, and limbo. I love this. Okay. Let's see, I'm going to just put these over here for a minute. Okay, so to me, the goddess card that showed up was indicating sort of like some energies you might possess, hence the goddess you would attract to kind of be your goddess. So to me, Aphrodite is saying, and I feel like these cards could really go together in a lot of ways, is like you have, whether you're physically beautiful or not, you have this innate understanding of how simply being human is such a beautiful thing, and really being able to revel in the material and harmonic elements of life. So really being moved both by body and by physical senses. Your perceptions and sensations are probably something that you can really channel through. And Aphrodite tends to, or any goddess that is like Aphrodite, there's oh man, of course I'm like not thinking of the names now. They'll probably come to me at some point during the reading, but there's a lot of goddesses that have like the same connotation as Aphrodite from different cultures, but she'll be the one that we'll reference here. But if there's another one that you really connect to that just has a different name from a different culture, but kind of that same symbolism as Aphrodite, feel free to, insert that one instead. But really just like being able to feel the god and goddess quality of all, and especially within you, your divinity, your the magic of just having a physical form, and what you can do that with that, and just like really in a divine way, in a sacred way, honoring body and being able to give form to beauty in life. And it could even just be like being able to make your own surroundings, your environments, or other environments. Like maybe you have some sort of gift for space design, creating just physical form and beauty in the world, in environments, in bodies, in a sensual, I was going to say sensuality and sensual, and it came out really weird. A sensual connection to life. And it's coming from something channeled into you. This isn't something you've kind of like, there's a more etheric quality around this, sort of like mermaidy energy, siren energy or something. It's instead of being like really earthy, it's this watery, ethereal quality of just like really understanding the beauty of being given the chance to understand concrete physical things. And I think that this inner sun is definitely connected to this. It's like there's a light in you that you've been gifted. Um, that this is coming from, it's sort of like it's channeled from above, and it really grows within you and radiates from within you to outside. So it's just like you radiate light, you radiate beauty, even if it's just like the things you create, you're radiating. It's this gift you have of just like really being able to give warmth and joy and purpose to the physical, but it's coming from some greater place than just the base human instinct. It's like a real divine channeling and gift that you've been given to really shine, especially with the physical world. And then this wind, I actually see these cards totally going together as well. You know how to move anything. And actually, this is totally connected to that fluid state I was talking about with Aphrodite, of like this sensual place, which is very watery and fluid. You're able to use that energy as well as the energy of wind, the energy of movement, the energy of idea to um, to animate life, to make things move, to take anything that's stuck in a place of limbo, whether that's yourself, whether that's friends or family, like a gift you can share with others, clients, if you're, like a therapist or something that works with helping people, life coach, whatever, healer, some other healer. But it could also be like physical places, like a rundown house that's been sitting abandoned. These are just, like it could be many things. These are just a few ideas that pop to mind. Like you're able to take anything that's sort of stuck or in this liminal state and understand what they need, what this needs, what you need, in order to start moving life again, to feel the possibility, the aliveness, the elegance of an idea, the energy that's created when you take something that's been stagnant and kind of shake it up and move it. But words here, there's something also with words. It's like some words. I think you channel words that are able to come into you, and you're able to like really ground them with this physical energy too, and this light energy from the sun. Like you're really able to take words and kind of manifest through them, make them material somehow. Which is also like taking, I guess, like ideas that have been in limbo or stuck, being able to take ideas and ground them through movement and manifest, create a flow from word to act to concrete, because you have a lot of clarity. Like even though this wind could be a little bit stormy and turbulent, like you have this inner clarity no matter what's happening in the outer world, whether that's chaos or stuckness, stagnation. Yeah, really cool, really beautiful, you guys. Definitely like as a gift to the world, like use your words to manifest things, help others get out of stuck places, make environments that have been stuck, like really, charge them up. Like you have this ability to like charge things and really beautify them and clarify them and yeah, move them. And yeah, really gorgeous. Okay. Now let's look at some of these more, I don't know why I want to call it like animalistic or base. It's just like magic you've more consciously developed, like compulsions you've had, and through experience and work and focus have kind of like really developed some cool things within yourself to be able to sort of um, transcend blocks around, use these things to transcend blocks, to manifest, to enchant, to, I don't know, like magic, I feel like in the way that I'm using it is very broad. So we'll just see what comes through. Zebra. Oh, I love this. There's already, before I go into the cards of like how to maybe connect these or, unify them, like I'm already seeing this Muladhara card. That's where I'll start. Not only is it a gift that you've been given divinely to just in a channeled or downloaded way know how to take things and ground them and materialize them. It's something that you've also, in a more human capacity with specific skills and practice, learned how to really ground things. You're very grounded. And this calms people. You probably have a very calm center, knowing how to hold stress without it making things stressful. Like it's like you can absorb stress and make it more radiant. So instead of being like rushed or panicked, like how to just like ground it and be calm and like everything's gonna work, like just chill out type of thing. Yeah, just like really, really beautiful trust in like your efficacy and what I'm seeing here is like a very beautiful nervous system. Like your nerves don't get frayed as easily as probably a lot of people's. But you've had a lot of discipline. Like maybe this is something that you've learned from parents or siblings or mentors of like understanding how to create structure and focuses and authority and mastery and excellence because you've like really been disciplined in your life and whether this came from a place within you or was kind of like something you were guided to do and that was like from childhood sort of ingrained in you. Either way, it's a beautiful gift. Like you really the more adult I become or further into adulthood I get, the more I realize so many people lack this quality of being able to really like focus and believe in themselves and be calm and trust in their processes and trust in their step by step ability to reach summits. This is like I know the Muladhara doesn't necessarily connect to Capricornian energy, but this self-discipline does, and this is definitely like more earthy to me. So there is like this Capricornian quality coming through to me, whether you have that directly as, signs in your chart or not. You may have stuff in your 10th house or stuff at the south bend of the lunar orbit in your chart. I don't know. There's a lot of ways that Capricorn energy can manifest. But I'm definitely seeing that this ability to manifest, to really be calm, be trusting, be grounded, radiate beauty, move life. Like this stuff is already I'm already kind of blending these. And then I love seeing these two cards jump out because this could be kind of heavy in a way. But you've got this like ethereal beauty, and then down in this more human terrain, there's a deep gentleness within you. And I think it comes from this trust in life. There's something about that's like a word that just keeps popping in my head of just like a trust in life, a trust in yourself, a trust in processes, that allows you to not have to like control things, even though you have this like deep focus and discipline and somewhat of a strictness. You still have this trust that allows you to still be calm and gentle about things and understand, you know, both the strength and the fragility of the human capacity, your own as and others. This gentleness card really speaks to being able to honor, like see and feel and honor another's spirit and soul, and like really, so there could be like a little bit, I don't want to say it's overwhelming, but like a little bit of an empath quality in you, where even though you have all these capacities and this centering and this focus and determination, you really feel others and you respond to them, through that just beautiful, ability to feel that connection and feel what other people feel, and so be able to not put your own expectations on other people, like meet them where they're at. It's a really beautiful gift you have, which I think would make you, in terms of a magical quality arising from this, like really make you admired and respected and, cared for, like really deeply cared for by others. And then you've got this adventure soul that's coming through. So even though you've got some discipline and focus and ability to ground and the sensitivity, there's a little bit of a spark, this like inner sun and this wind and this flaunting goddessy thing. Like there is a little bit of a spark in you of like wanting to see the world and being a little bit fiery and wild. Like she in this, this ethereal goddess does have, this red hair and stuff. There's like a little bit of fire in there and an ability to know how to let loose and have fun. And the way that this could blend with these more ethereal places is like, fashion for sure is coming through, of like knowing how to take, physical art and material and, on the human form, really, like you probably have your own idiosyncratic kind of style, but you know how to like, there's an eclectic thing going on with style, but you know how to like make it your own, but intriguing and interesting and fun and yeah, just whimsically beautiful, but exciting. Like, yeah, I'm really into all this energy. You have such a beautiful mix of like groundedness and gentleness and determination and, feist with, like wind and zebra. There's like a little bit of feist in there too, of like, you know how to let loose, you know how to focus, you know how to be gentle. Like you, oh man, you guys are like the whole package. This is really gorgeous. Good for you guys. Yeah. So like things you've really developed is, a lot of experiences through being open to adventure and travel, like really learning how to ground yourself and manifest things. You've developed focus and discipline, and you really know how to meet people where they're at and be gentle with them. And then this more channeled stuff is like really knowing how to, move things out of limbo, use your words, use your light to energize and animate, and, really knowing how to make the physical feel divinely, gorgeous. Okay, so we are going to put these to the side. And even though, I don't know, we'll see what comes up with this. My intention in this next part was to see how to blend these, but they kind of, I don't know if this will be distinct to this pile or not, but they sort of already, we're seeing how to blend them. But we'll just, we have some tarot cards. This might just give us more context and a little more specific way of like how to, so this card is intended to, see how to make these energies blend, how to bring the ethereal down to earth, and how to make the more earth-based magic more divine. So wildness and electricity, totally tapping into that that zebra and the wind to me, and the sun, the wind, and the zebra. So there's like bringing your more experienced-based magical traits to elevate them and to let them lead you to more spiritual magics, is like really getting caught up in your own wildness, like letting that wildness of the zebra of adventure kind of enter your heart. Like I love seeing this light go through her heart and just like, yeah, shoot that energy up to connect to something more divine, and then to bring the divine more down to earth. I think this is ecstasy. This is totally Aphrodite, ecstatic dance, like dancing, just letting that goddess energy flow through you, feeling your body, feeling form, feeling the way it could move, using, even if you're dancing, I mean, typically we're not like dancing in the wind. Maybe that sounds awesome, but typically, we're like dancing inside somewhere or under the moon or something. But like trying to channel the wind into you as you dance and feeling that solar quality, that inner sun that you've been gifted, but like truly that form, like really feeling your body move, is going to channel this divine magic you have down into your body to just radiate, to just be alive, and yeah, just completely glorious is the word. Sort of a weird word to come to mind. Glorious feels a little archaic, but anyway, that's the word that came. So yeah, be glorious through that. Okay, we're just gonna pick a few tarot cards to see any other messages about your magic that want to come through. I don't know what other amazing things we can see, because it feels already like kind of the whole package in here. Let's see. These. Let's see, maybe two more. I do kind of want to get one more in there. Let's get 5 cards. Okay. What I'm feeling now that I'm pulling these tarot, I wasn't totally sure what they were gonna serve as, other than just some advice, is that it does feel like advice of like how to tap into this energy. And let's see, one of my lights is just totally glaring on that. Okay, so like some advice to help you tap into these potentials and magic, the magic you possess. beyond this electricity, that's sort of like, I think, the main overarching of like, yeah, how to channel one up and the other grounding it kind of. But these are more general overall messages about tapping into your magic. It's the first thing that's sticking out to me is this Four of Waters and that limbo we saw in the more kind of like divine magic you have of like an putting Aphrodite next to limbo. It's like anytime you feel stuck, you need to move, and in that movement, feel your body. So there is like this thing of like you might go through periods of stagnation, and what's required to get back into your magic is simply to move and feel your body, whether that's dancing or running, but like some sort of exertion where you really, really get into your body and feel it and connect to your body and movement. That's a big thing coming through to me. I think you need to, both of these cards to me, Six of Water and Two of Earth, they feel like these gifts that you have will best serve you when you share them with the world. It will create a certain flow of giving and receiving, but also a certain credibility as well and trust in others, building some kind of trust and ethos in you. So like, yeah, sharing. I mean, I think our magic is meant to be shared, but this is just definitely saying that if you do, it will bring you position and it will bring you a flow of exchange and a deep connection to also your roots. To I did feel with that like self-discipline card that came out that someone in your younger years, whether that was a parent or a teacher or a sibling or a friend's parents, whatever it was, like there was someone that really inspired that decision to be disciplined, and gave you some sort of framework to help that. And I think that's something that if you can go back and like feel into that and appreciate that, you can pay it forward. So there's this beautiful thing of like memories inspiring you to do the same for others when possible. And in return, it's just like creating this fluid exchange and like elevating the world in terms of like refinement in the world. And that's just like, by getting into igniting some exchange there, you'll really create like a lot of fluidity, beautiful emotions, beautiful connections, beautiful memories, just kind of generating a lot of movement for you. And we already saw the inner sun with that more divine quality. And I want to say that also within your earthly development, you've probably been through, I don't know, it could be competition or achievements of big projects or goals that through hard work, you've also really developed a strong, like a strength in yourself through your heart, through the experiences you've had, but you are also just gifted in general, a divinely beautiful inner light. And it's just like saying, just confirming this and saying like you need to really stay connected to your heart, lead through your heart, move through your heart. That is the generator of all here. And then our beautiful Four of Fire is like a little butterfly fairy. That's gorgeous. I've never seen a fairy with like literal butterfly wings. Or maybe I just haven't paid attention, but I'm noticing now and it's beautiful. um, this is this ability to create through passion, through being connected to life, through your zebra fire, through your Aphrodite goddess, this ability to create order in life that is inspired, that is celebrated, that makes everybody feel good, and especially you feel good. So it's just like, again, the trust coming through, this trust in yourself to just like know how to make life beautiful. I mean, it's this gorgeous reading, you guys. Yeah, so pay things forward, get your body moving if you ever feel stuck, always lead through your heart. Let your wildness go a little bit. That's really, yeah, merging, bringing your divine energies down and elevating your more human magic too. Yeah, that's where we're going to leave you. I love how this turned out for you guys. Definitely, if you liked this, I always feel supported when you guys subscribe or like or leave a nice comment or if you have a critique, make it constructive. But yeah, I appreciate the support when this really connects to you guys. So I will see you in your next reading. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. And you guys picked this little brass turtle. We're going to just put her over here throughout the reading to keep us company. Okay, so we have 3 sort of things we're going to do here. First, we're going to look at, in terms of all the beautiful magic that you hold, we're going to look at sort of the magical qualities and gifts that are a little bit more ethereal and that aren't necessarily inherently yours, but these gifts you possess, whether it's sort of like portal type energy or crown chakra energy, things that really bring higher vibrations, angelic qualities, downloaded information, stuff that's from like another realm, either downloaded into you or that you can channel through. So what kind of more etheric magic do you possess that you can like tap into in different sort of realms? And then we're going to also look at more base, like human animalistic stuff that through experience and practice and instinct you've developed over time as gifts that have become magical, that are able to that help you manifest in life, that help you to transcend blocks or challenges, that just kind of enliven and animate life around you in general. I mean, there's a lot of ways it could turn out, so we'll just see what the cards say. But and then after we look at those, we're going to pull some like one other card that shows how to kind of bring this etheric energy down to earth to help you in like your more tangible day to day, and then how to elevate that more humanistic magic to open you to more spiritual experiences and wisdoms, and then some tarot with just some guidance of like how to keep tapped into these magic qualities, how to use them. We'll just see what comes out. So to start with, we're going to see this more divine realm, what kind of magic you hold. Beautiful. going to have to look up. I put the books for all of these over here just in case there was something I wasn't sure about, and I will have to look that up, but we'll get there in a minute. Okay, so the goddess card in this reading is supposed to signify like sort of an energy around you that would attract a certain goddess to want to work with you, or an energy that has been gifted to you by a goddess that's been watching over you. So this is Yamanya. I think that's how it's pronounced, golden opportunity. So this goddess really has this ability to know right timing, but also trust in the continuous flow of life, that even if you didn't hit a right timing, or the time wasn't right to catch that beautiful wave or opening or path that came into your life, that another one is right around the corner. Like, she's just really plugged in to the ebbs and flows, the fluidity, the diversity, the endless flow of creation. She is sort of a creation goddess. And so there's just like deep trust that life works for you because you understand timing, and not only timing of like when things are the right time, but when it's the right time for you. So being willing to miss opportunities because you know your timing's not right, even though the timing for this thing is right, you know? So it's just like this beautiful, deep connection to possibility and that endless flow of opportunity that's always there for you, which is so gorgeous, you guys. Yeah, it's just this plugged in divine timing, just completely into that. Interconnection. This is like so many levels. I think you really understand how to connect to other people in a really inspired way, in a way that's coming from some higher inspiration, helps you to, I don't want to quite say it's an empath quality, because this is not, I don't think it affects you as much as an empath was. It's sort of like you just know. It's like more psychic, of just knowing how to meet other people where they are, what they're feeling, what they need, and the right is that timing thing too. Again, it's just like you know the right timing of when people need things, what they need, when to be in the right place at the right time to make beneficial connections of your own too, and to connect to the right places, people, things that are good for you, that are special for you, that hold meaning for you, and them in return, like this deep inspired ability to create exchanges and in right timing with life, not just with others, but with opportunities, with worldly events, just like having a sense of, just like being so plugged into the neural network of the universe, of just like sort of knowing the impulses of when things are coming. That you're always in the right place at the right time. That's just what I want to say. You're always in the right place at the right time. And it's not just for you to receive, it's also for you to bring your own downloaded beautiful messages that others need, or that create openings for life to, be more connected in some way. My guess is this circle card is going to probably really plug into this in a similar way, but let's just see. We'll just read the essence. Unification, interconnectedness, you guys, you can't make that up. A sense of continuum in what, and a sense of continuum is what this card implies. The circle reminds us that we are all one, dancers in a unified, continuous, inclusive circle. This card reminds us of the cycles of life and the evolving self, ever changing, and always connected. Human, spirit, nature, the cosmos, all intrinsically connected. I mean, we already went over this. This is like a confirmation card of like you, but it's just like driving it home. Like you are connected. You are in the right places at the right times. You know when the right time is for you. You know when the right time is for others. You know when, and this trusting of just like being able to forgo things, even if they, are something you desire, just that innate divine wisdom of like some sort of signal of like, yes, I want this so much, but I know it's not the right time, so it won't actually work out well. There's just this knowing, this like such this plugged in connectedness, and then cognizance showing up doesn't surprise me at all. Like I feel like your neurons are ever in neurogenesis and always like I think you keep your mind alive, or something from a channeled place is always helping you to keep your neural networks alive and awakened and alert and heightened in some way. But I don't think it's like a mess, like when we're adolescents and we go through that massive neurogenesis time where it's like, even though we have a lot of connection, it can also be a bit of a tangle. Whereas like as we become more and more adults, our neural pathways, there's some die off and weeding out. But so even though we're not like as connected and as sharp in making connections, we kind of have more clear expertise. But I feel like there's something for you where somehow it's like you have the best of both worlds because you have this help. You have some sort of channel that's like your neural networks are vast and diverse, but you have some sort of guidance of knowing how to, your cognizance, knowing how to navigate these without kind of getting lost or messy. So just like this deep neural connection in your own mind, with others, these like unseen neural connections of knowing others, of timing of the neural network of the universe. That's what I felt at the very start. And before we got to these other cards, it's like you're plugged in to neural networks on from the level of your own brain up to the cosmic brain. Amazing. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's look at your more humanly developed magic. Beautiful. You've got the owl. Very you've been very observant and wise, and you sort of know strategy and right action, but strategy that's beautiful for all. Oh, look, we need to push these up. Sorry. Okay, well, let's look at. This is. Hold on 1 second. Okay, the throat. Yeah, that's what I thought. This was the throat chakra. I had to make sure. Sorry. Okay. Put that down. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Sorry. I'm just taking in all the cards now that I clarified what this one meant. You. These are totally connected to mind as well. So I feel like these divine magical qualities have super, super influenced how you've developed instincts, experience, knowledge, wisdom you've gained through life and being human. You've really developed an ability to kind of step back, to take things in, to see the unseen, to calmly strategize with a wisdom, with a foresight, with a seeing more into the future than strategy for right now, and like what's the best good for the all, because you're so divinely connected to the all. You're always thinking about not only what's good for you, but what's good for the all. And that energy just creates, because you have that capacity to not only think about yourself and to think more about the circle of life and the ecosystem of life. The ecosystem of life feeds you back, and that's what allows you to have access to that cosmic neural network, is because in your base human form, you're not abusing that. You're really, really wise about it. And then this thinking, yeah, it's like you really create thoughtful, it's like measured, thoughtful ways of putting forth information, organizing information, and clarifying it, speaking it, using your voice. You really have a resonance around your voice, to just like your neural connections are so vast, the resonance from the clarity and truth of your voice is vast as well. It can really reach people because it's so clarified, and it's got a piercing truth. And this 7 in numerology also has to do with like seeking truth. But I love that in this card it has a lot with personal growth. Yeah, I think this need to know truth, to think about truth, to think about life, to be thoughtful, to be observant, has invited you in. You've really developed an ability to see the unseen, to see the magic under the words, the magic under the material, the magic under the person, the magic under your skin. And you've had a lot of personal growth by being able to see the unseen. You know, owls can see at night, see what we with our human eyes can't see at night. Yeah, just like a really deep, like this is a little bit more your etheric magic, your otherworldly magic is definitely lighter. This earthly wisdom and knowledge has a little bit more of a deepness to it. Yeah. It's really, really gorgeous, you guys. So not only do you have just this amazing brain, but you have the voice to pierce through with truths and clarity and ways of saying things that help people to understand the effect on the one of the one on the all, of like, you know, like we see with COVID, like you probably have a lot of beautiful thoughts around how COVID has shown us that unless our most vulnerable are supported and protected, none of us are. You know, we all have to work together in this global network that, you know, in this very circumscribed world that we are in. Like, I think you probably have a lot of deep thoughts around this and a lot of ability to clearly express these truths and downloads and wisdoms you've cultivated just through being you, but wisdom's being channeled to you as well. Gorgeous, you guys. Amazing. I love it. Okay, let's draw a card that kind of can show how we can take the more earthly magic we have and elevate it to help us have more spiritual experiences, and how to ground our more ethereal connection to magic to help manifest in our life. Sort of this, what is the energy that helps sort of like channel each of these to meet in a middle place, if you will. Fill in this one. pressure, transformation. Interesting. Okay, I like it though. I think this is sort of like putting challenges in front of you, taking on things bigger than you think you can take on, being willing to, I definitely feel this, being willing to, in your own life, in the world in general, being willing to put stress tests on things purposely in order to see where the cracks are and letting the cracks happen and letting the constructs break in order for transformation to ignite, in order for you in your life to see where there's misalignment, and you to show the world in bigger areas where there is not alignment, where things need some death and rebirth energy, some willingness to kind of allow certain things to fall apart in order for them to be resurrected in a much more vital, beautiful, holistic, ecological way. So I think from the higher elements, bringing them down to earth is like really being willing to say some of the things that you download that you maybe feel like are too soon or too much for people to hear, to test that, to say them. And pretty much the same thing. I think it's like the same thing from both directions, is like grounding one and elevating the other, of like really having the courage to put pressures both through voice and through how you time things, and using that connection to timing to say things in the right time, specifically to show the cracks. You're kind of a revolutionary, I think, or secretly want to be and could be. Maybe some of you are, and some of you have that dream, but it's in you, and just put a little pressure on it, and these magics will kind of come out of you. Okay, let's get some advice of how to stay connected to your magic, how to use it. We'll see what comes out. Look at all this fire. Whoa. You have 4 of your 5 cards are fire. I love it. Okay. Yeah, okay. So let's get the water out of the way before we jump into all this fire. You, by staying connected to your emotional body, I think this is a challenge coming through, because there's a lot of mental energy, neural energy, wisdom energy, thinking energy in both of your magics. And if you can stay connected, like make some time to really get quiet and listen to your heart, make some time to find how you flow, like tap into that Yamenya card of like understanding the ebbs and flows of life. If you can like stay connected to your emotional body and to your heart, I think that will help show you those right times to do those pressure tests and to expand your life and manifest more expansion and bigger opportunities, bigger paths for your life. Okay, so jumping into this fire energy, we have kind of two personalities coming through, and then two. Let's put these together. Okay, so let's start with the numbers. You need to, this actually in some ways connects to this flow thing. You have visions in life, but sometimes you might feel like insecure about bringing them forward, or how to, or like they're too big or something. Like some insecurity around the visions you have. And this is saying, like, if you can stay connected to your emotions, but also in a way where you just like sort of let them like understand that they aren't you and they're just information, and just kind of allow them to flow and leave and flow and leave, and just see what they're communicating to you rather than identifying with them, but allowing them, not blocking them. That's like, I feel more of an energy of like you might block emotions. Like if you allow your emotions, this insecurity about your big visions, and fear of stepping into them will recede, and you really will be able to wish upon stars and bring those, bring those wishes down to earth and manifest them, and know how to like be courageous and bold in using them, because you do have this very that structure that I've seen in your mental capacity is very much so connected to your heart. So your passions can be very structured, which is really effective for being a leader, and knowing the fights you want to fight and making the right plans, like the cognizance in the owl of like really having a lot of wisdom. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely this thing of like really needing to allow your emotions to flow, and which will give you that courage to step into the leader that you know you are. But that there's just some like insecurity and blocked energy around it. It's because that fluid emotional water energy is kind of being kept at bay, but it's actually going to help you as long as you don't identify with it. And then this is definitely just showing that you have that fire energy. You're bringing new passionate values into the world. So always being connected to the passion of your inner child, like re-tapping into like who you were as a child. Like think back to the things that you did, of like being fearless and being bold and being having a strong willpower. Like think back to those memories and almost make them sort of an armor that you put on yourself every time you need a little bit of courage. Because if you can channel, yeah, these passionate values that you have, you can really bring amazing messages to the world. And it's just like needing to channel a fearlessness. But ultimately, the potential, I see this as the potential of what you can achieve in life, of being just this leader of leaders, this knowing of how to command the spotlight with a really caring heart for everyone. So not being a leader for its own sake, for your own ego and glamour and becoming cruel with it, but like having like a deep connection and heart to humanity, to that ecosystem of neural activity that you're so connected with, and the wisdom that you're connected to, of like really staying plugged into that and being willing to step into your leader role. You're gonna be just like this really cherished, you have the potential to be this really, really cherished leader that knows how to transform, that knows how to transform for the good of all. And that's just like really admired and a force, a total force in the world. Beautiful magic, you guys. I hope some of these thoughts were helpful to help you kind of stay tapped into that magic and flow with it and generate with it and make your own magic with the magic you have possession of and access to. So, all right. Great reading. If you loved this, connected with it, liked it, definitely give a little thumbs up or a shout out. And if you are not subscribed yet, I always appreciate some followers. So give me a little subscription too. And we will see you in the next reading. Thanks, guys. Hello, pile 3. If this is you guys, you picked the pile with the little dove feather, if I can get my hands on it. Yeah, it's a precious little feather, very common, but it just like literally was falling from the air in front of me one day, and I just put my hand out and it just plopped in, so it just felt kind of special. Okay, so this is your pile. We are going to look at the magic that you possess and kind of tease out a little bit about it to make it more present in you and figure out how to use it more impactfully and in beautiful ways. And there's sort of a few different ways we're going to look into this. I've got a pile of cards that show sort of your access to more higher dimensions and realms, like sort of portal or channel energy you possess to the otherworldly, to the angelic, to whatever higher cosmic energies that aren't necessarily inherent to you, but that you have access to and that regularly and also with practice that you can sort of gain access to and use as guidance and channels. And then we're going to also look at your more humanistic magic, so things through having had experience and instinct and kind of practice with in life that you've sort of honed and developed and made into things that possess their own magic that kind of help you transcend certain boundaries and help you manifest and, you know, all sorts of beautiful things. So, and then after we look at these two piles, we are going to draw a card that can help show how to sort of bring this ethereal magic down into your more tangible, practical world, and how to take your more human, animalistic type magic, how to use it to, how to elevate it to give you access to more spiritual experiences and greater wisdom, and then some tarot cards around that as well. Okay, so let's start with your more etheric magic, the magic you have access to from sort of other realms. Okay, so Sulis, bodies of water, wholehearted bridge, earth, beautiful, and solar. Okay, I like this earth and solar next to each other. Okay, let me feel into this vibe for just a second. Yeah, there's in this okay, yeah, I've got it. In it sort of felt opposite to me, like this should be your earth energy, but I see what's going on here. So you have like you may have a deep connection to herbalism and witchcraft type magic, because in like shamanistic type magic, because you hear the elements of earth, the animals of earth, the waters, the land, the plants. It's like their spirit can speak directly to you. Like you can go out and pick a flower or a plant or sit next to the base of a tree or commune with a bird or some other animal and just like absolutely know what information they hold and what they're trying to say and what, like these more elemental communications, like you have complete access to them, like maybe even to the fairy realm. um, the elemental realm, I don't know all of them. There's the salamanders, I don't know, look up elementals, I can't remember them all, but there's like the fairies and the salamanders and I don't know. But yeah, it's like you have access to elemental wisdom. You could sit next to a river and know all the memories that the waters coming through hold. Like this tapping into access to ancestral wisdoms for sure. And I feel like this solar card coming through is just like there's a deep vitality around this and a deep clarity. It's not murky to you. It's not like, did that plant say something to me? It's like you know in your center. That's where your knowing, I think, comes from, is like your solar plexus area, your center, your core. You can feel it there when you've gotten a communication from the elements and the animals and the plants of Earth. It will be felt in your core. And tapping into that feeling will just enhance your interpretation and wisdom of what to then do with that communication, and how to shine it forth in the world, how to share it like the rays of the sun to bring more life force and more animation and more joy and more growth and beauty and love into the world through this connection you have to all this amazing elemental kind of energy and communication. It's gorgeous. Like you are a true earth angel. And your angels are earth angels. I think that your guides have had like graduated from earth. From being have had many incarnations on earth and have graduated, so they understand earth on the level that you do, and so they know how to like animate the earth for you and bring forth communication and wisdom through the earth to you. So really, really amazing. But there's also this solar energy, and maybe there's also a thing about like midday, like having a little bit more access to the communications during the height of the daytime or during warmer seasons, when things are more alive like that. I mean, that would make sense that the communication is more alive if you know, whatever. Yeah, and it's like a seasonal thing too. Like, even sometimes when we're in the heat of summer, that's actually when there's a lot of death, because not everything can withstand, depending on where you are and the kind of heat that's generated. But whatever quality of sun brings the most life to the different things you're communicating with, whenever they're in their most heightened season of life, that's when you should be connecting and getting the most profound information. Not that you can't with their deaths as well. But the most alive kind of and vital and clear communications are going to come with communing with them at the peak of their lives. Hence knowing what to do with them when you if you are kind of like an alchemist type person, like cut them and dry them, or knowing which things to cut and dry, or, all that kind of beautiful alchemical kind of wisdom and experimenting and magic that our natural world provides us. Okay, let's look at your more human access to magic through experience and practice and focus and dedication. What kind of magic have you cultivated in yourself? Oh, wow. Beautiful. I've got these all upside down. Okay. Rebirth. Amazing. Transformation. Wow. Okay. I'm just going to quick read the numerology one for 16. I think the others I kind of have a grasp of. Okay, this card indicates a time of major transition and transformation. So these are just like confirming that will result in significant personal growth. By drawing on this card, you have entered a period of spiritual awakening and rebirth where you have the opportunity to align with your higher self and the overarching principles that guide you. This is where you surrender to the changes around you and prepare to be the best you can be. You are being encouraged to trust and believe that a magical future awaits, but first you need to let go of the old in order to experience the new. Take time to reevaluate your core values and re-examine your life, then eliminate any superficial foundations that don't align with your higher self and your dreams. This is a time to recognize and rise above any ego-based thoughts and behaviors, for humility and authenticity are the keys to your success. In order to improve your current situation, you are being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythms and cycles of your life, cycles that are leading you toward a higher level of understanding and awareness. This transformation is inevitable, so know that this is a very exciting time for you to become the best you can be. And the affirmation, through personal transformation, I reached my greatest potential. So this is interesting. Pile 2 had a lot of this kind of transformation energy as well. But I am feeling it very differently for you. Theirs was much more of a mental thing, and I feel like this is using the physical world and the elements and the compounds and just the matter of earth to be able to heal and transform and generate more life force both within you, but also something you can do for and with others. This willingness to kind of like dive into the depths and the dark places, to uproot anything gunky and murky and trauma, like facing traumas, facing fears. Like this is a much more soulful thing than, pile 2 is a much more cognizant transformation element to me. And this is, just like, you really know how to grab hold of life and investigate it. Research, alchemy, herbalism. I mean, it's not surprising in these piles to have seen like how these more divine gifts have definitely inspired a lot about what we practice and hone and develop in our earthly instincts and our instincts that we always have access to. And you have a regalness around this. You have a surety, you have a knowing, you know how to make life flow. You know how to, I think this is what this transformation is about. You can see where the flow of life and the waters of life are clogged or stuck or leaking, and you know how to get in there and get dirty and clear out that blockage or repair a crack or a leak to help life force flow again, to rebirth, to get in there and get dirty and get messy and tear things apart if you have to, in order to resurrect the physical aspect of life. Like, you really are you have the capability. You don't have to be a physical healer, but fields where this could really, like a nutritionist, a physical therapist, an herbalist, a shaman, a surgeon. I don't know. I'm sure there's 50 other things I could name off. Those are just a few on the top of my mind, but you know how to like precisely get into things, slice them open, tear them apart. Maybe you renovate homes, um, renovate people, personal trainer, what? I mean, all those things, nutritionist. I think it's just like you really need to work with matter and remold it, rework it, be willing to get dirty with it and get messy with it to make it more alive, through processes of death, you know. Um, Whoops. But definitely like a deep, fearless ability to tap into where life flow, um, how to make life flow better in a physical manner. And um, yeah, I mean, you have like a noble heart with this. Like, you really do want for your own life and for others and for the world, for the earth, you want life to be in flow. Like, people may be a bit intimidated by you, a little bit fearful of you because you have such like an intensity and a power. But what not everyone sees, I think, is the noble undertone to all of it, of just like really wanting life to be in flow. And that's just amazing and beautiful, you guys. So, okay, we are going to draw a card that will show how to bring some of these more ethereal magics down into tangible life to manifest through, and how to use your more practical magic to elevate you into more spiritual experiences. So how to get these two magics kind of interchanging a bit, and finding that middle place where they're able to both elevate and ground you a bit more. But yeah, I'm loving this. Like, etheric, just to kind of recap, like your etheric access to the elements, the elementals, the elements, the seasons, the life force of the physical, and then the practical knowledge and magic of knowing how to transform through the physical and get life force flowing. Okay, so let's look at this energy that helps kind of channel them into grounding and elevation. And then we'll do some tarot cards to just get any like other advice around best ways to use this, how to stay plugged into them, whatever the tarot wants to bring up. Whatever spirit wants to bring up through tarot. Okay. This one. Expansion north. Okay. To me, I know I had said something about like really feeling in those etheric magic qualities of like access to, it's almost like you have a portal access to ancestral wisdom. And I think this is a confirmation of that your ancestors are very much so part of your spiritual team. And by doing rituals to honor them, to invite them into your life, the ones that are, you can invite the ones that are specifically like, want to help you and ascended kind of thing, to make sure that you're keeping positive. We don't have all positive ancestors in our life, unfortunately, but making sure you keep well ancestors as part of your team, you can kind of specify that, invite them in, and I think that they're whispering through through the elements, through the animals, through the little elemental spirits, fairy energy, salamander energy. They are bringing you synchronicities through these things. They are communicating through them to you. And that wisdom, the insight that they're bringing can help kind of ground that, like, give direction. If you notice the synchronicities that happen, of like give direction of like what you're supposed to do with this information. And I think that knowing of what to do with the information is helping you to channel that more practical magic you have towards more cosmic, beautiful, divine aims, by listening to where they're directing you to use these things. So really beautiful, definitely hugely tapped into that, ancestral realm. It could be fun too. Oh shoot, what's the name? There's an app. Not everyone is going to be able to find anything. I live in a place where there's been a lot of ancestral lineage work, so this app is pretty profound for me because I can go way, way, way back in my lineages. It's the Family Tree app, I believe. If you get in there and kind of like type in your information, you can try and see if there's anyone's already done work around your ancestors and who they were and where they came from, or even just if that's not possible to track your lineages, you could do that like 23andMe and get kind of your DNA breakdown of where you've come from and stuff. But it's some way to like, and just, or even just like intuitively feel into potential ancestral, maybe there's even ancestors past that you knew in your own lifetime that you connect to. But many ways to tap in there, but I think it's really worth putting effort there. Okay, let's see what we can, what other messages come through the tarot. More earth. You guys are just, definite earth angels. Earth. Oh my goodness. Earth? What? And the Hermit, which is a Virgo card of earth. Okay. But definite instinct. I'll start with that. Like, as much as you have practiced magic that I think you have the potential to really excel at, with being able to transform and get life flowing again, and the communications you can get through the elements of earth and through ancestors, as much as all of those are beautiful and magic and amazing. This Hermit card is saying that no matter what you do and how you use this magic, it needs to come from your own instinct. You still have the final say of yes and no, of how to use these things, how to direct them, how to develop them, where you're taking it. So you need to really keep a refined personal rhythm around this, where that, it's amazing. There's so much we can learn through courses and mentors and our elders and our ancestors, but there's something very distinct to you that you're supposed to be doing with all of this magic. And so you just need to really be connected to your own rhythms and your own instincts, so that you have the wherewithal to know the best path forward for how you should be using these things, no matter what other communications seem to be coming through or what your talents have potential for. Really be true to you and give yourself enough time and space in daily practice to kind of process all of this stuff once you start working with it more, or if you're still already working with it pretty heavily, which I feel like a lot of you might be. I think it's really important to, give yourself some space to like really be tapped into your own energy on a daily basis. Okay, so now we've got 4 of Earth, 8 of Earth, 3 of Earth, 9 of Earth. 9 of Earth to me is very similar to Hermit, but to add on to it, it's just like you have a real beautifying touch with the materials of Earth, but not only that, with knowing how to make your daily processes and instincts and rituals and sacredness of your life. You know how to create a rhythm that's really beautiful and really calming and personally distinct to you, that creates a lot of abundance in your life. So a similar thing here of like just really being tapped into your sense of beauty and your sense of rhythm is super important in this magic that you possess. Let's see. Similar here, skilled. You have the potential to focus. You have the potential, the focus, the determination, the intention, devotion to really generating a skill, a practical, useful skill out of the magic you possess. I feel like, and this doesn't have to be everyone, but I absolutely feel like there's a lot of people in here with Virgo and Scorpio energy, like an interplay of those two energies. For sure. Let's see. Yeah, and then tapping into that lion energy, you know how to be a commander, but you also know your place in the chain of command, but you know how to be a team player in manifestation and in getting things off the ground and expanding them and elevating them. You know your place, you know who's above you, who's below you, you know when you're boss, you know when you're taking orders, and you know how to speak up when you need to speak up, when it's your duty to say, like, even though this person's higher me in the chain of command, I know more about this particular thing and I need to lend my voice. So you like know when to push back, you know when to step back, you know when to give orders, when to stand your ground, when to listen. Like, it's very effective sort of general type energy. That lion is very a cooperative lion energy. Like, you're regal, but you know how to listen to counsel and you know how to give counsel, and you know when there are people more experienced than you and when you hold more experience. The one warning coming through in this pile is this need for life to be stable and secure, which can sometimes make it stagnant. But you have that willingness to get in there and get dirty and transform. I feel like what may happen is, like, that energy just like really creates a lot of upheaval, and it like isn't always the most pleasant thing to do. So there's like maybe resistance sometimes to getting in there and like doing that massive transforming work. But anytime you feel like your life is a little bit stagnant, you need to challenge that thing of like where you really hold on to stability. And that's exactly the time to start making a mess, transforming things, and getting to the root of where life force is stuck. And yeah, and I think it's like tapping back into that sun energy. Like you'll know in your core, listen to your core, your own solar quality. Things orbit around that. And if things are not orbiting in your life, things are not moving, that's when it's time to start listening to the messages of what needs upheaval, what needs uprooting, what needs to be torn apart in order to flow better and be rebuilt better. So, all right. Beautiful, beautiful reading, you guys. Such amazing earth magic you guys hold. Like, whoa. It wasn't just like, oh, like everything that came through was a very specific, like you were sent here with a very, very specific mission with the magic you have cultivated and have access to, of just like really turning our physical and material world into a beautiful, open, flowing, resourceful, cared for, ecologically sound place. So yeah, thank you guys for your work. Anyway, okay, so if you liked this, if it resonated, let me know in the comments. I always love to hear if I'm hitting the mark. If you're not subscribed yet, I always appreciate that support, and even just a little thumbs up if that's what you feel like doing. All right, I'll see you guys in the next reading. Hello, pile 4, last pile. You guys chose the one with the little bookmark hand. And I don't know, as I was pulling this pile out, I kept hearing the hand of God. I don't know. We'll see if that means anything. Or the hand of spirit, or like, yeah, like a guide's hand, sort of very present in your life. It's funny, I didn't really get much of a channeled message through these objects with the other ones, but as I picked your pile up, it was like, it just, yeah, it was like, anyway, we'll see what happens. Okay, so welcome to your reading of the magic you possess. And we have a few things we're going to look at. So this is kind of broken up into 3 little subsections, I guess you could say. First, we're going to look at the magic you have access to from higher realms, like the magic that you have the potential to channel or download from, or that's just sort of like your spiritual team that's giving you access. So it's not necessarily like magic you possess within, but magic you have access to through developing relationships with these otherworldly, beautiful realms, whatever it is. And so far it seems like these have really influenced the kind of magic we develop practically. So then we're going to look at, we'll see though, it's just what's happened so far. It doesn't mean it's going to happen for you, but we're going to look then at sort of like the more human, animalistic, practical magic that you've cultivated in your life more consciously and determinedly through experience and practice and instinct and compulsion and drive, whatever it is. But like, what is the magic you've sort of developed that has given you gifts of being able to transcend blocks, to flow, to manifest, whatever it may be. We'll see. And then after we do those sort of 2 levels of magical qualities, we're going to do a card that shows sort of like how to bring sort of like a wisdom of like how to bring the ethereal magic more into your practical realm to use it to kind of manifest and materialize, and then how to use your more humanly developed magic to lead you towards greater spiritual experiences and wisdoms. And then some tarot alongside of that with like any advice of how to stay connected to this magic, how to use it, that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's start out with the other worldly magic you have access to. See what comes out. Sekhmet. Incorporate. The Andean Cross. Awaken. Beautiful. I'm just really quick going to look up the Andean Cross. I don't know. There's a lot of cards in this deck. I don't know. I think I know what this is, but I just want to make sure. The essence, the Andean Cross represents the cosmology of the shaman. Yeah, that's what I thought. It depicts the four cardinal directions, the upper and lower worlds, and the steps to reach these realms. The hole in the center is a gateway to interdimensional travel, the proverbial eye of the needle we can all go through to experience higher states of awareness and wisdom to break free of linear time. Love it. Okay. Yeah, I sort of knew it had something to do with that, but that helped kind of flesh that out a bit for me. Okay, so amazing. Definitely some ancient Egyptian energy coming through here. I really this didn't come through with any of the other piles to say like you may have had a lifetime somewhere else, but I really do think you may have had some time in ancient Egypt. And Sekhmet, so the goddess coming through in this reading to me is showing either sort of like a vibe around you, hence why this goddess would show up, or this goddess, or gifts, this goddess having attached to you, hence giving you certain potentials and gifts and energy. So Sekhmet is fierce. She's sort of she's a bit of a warrior goddess. I'm not going to get into her whole mythology, but she I like to think of her in a way of like restoring balance and being fierce about it, not being scared to go to battle, to be fierce, to be destructive, to be a little violent, to be honest. Not that you should be violent. I'm definitely not saying that. But like she's all about restoring some sort of balance. And the thing that needs to be watched with her energy is sort of like revenge energy. But this is a magic reading, so we're not concerned with that. We're concerned with the magic she's bringing you. And this is the magic of knowing how to cultivate strength and be strong and stand up for yourself, stand up for others, stand up for the world, stand up for it's just like this fearlessness, this warrioress fearlessness, and definitely like some cat lion type energy here of like very regal. She's definitely the daughter of like, I want to say of Amun, of the sun solar god, who sort of unleashed her in society. And the only thing that sort of tamed her when she got out of control was dyeing alcohol red to make her drunk and like calm her down. So you may be, you have a fierceness for sure in you. But because this is the reading of like, where's your magic? It's like, and you have access to this goddess. You have access to her wisdom, to her gifts, because it's being channeled in a proper way, in a way to be fierce for society, be fierce for your life, be fierce for another's life. Like, you know how to protect and how to restore balance of things and a certain fairness. I get to incorporate last. I'm feeling these needing to come before that. I think that's the whole goal of this ethereal magic you possess is, um, yeah, your fierceness, your cat warrior that has a certain magic of like knowing when and how to be fearless, to stand up for certain things, has a very, very strong compass and directional, and you know how to read the signs. You have been given a certain gift and an ability to download from interdimensional places, from a timelessness, from understanding um, the cycles and directions of life. Hence, when there is a directional, like you pick up on that in an instant, when there's a directional to calm down, when there's a directional to charge at something, when there's a directional to love, a directional to go to war, a directional to take space, a directional to self-soothe, a directional to soothe others. Like you know your directionals. You can read those signs like the back of your hand, and those are the things that kind of unleash your fierceness, unleash your strength too. I like that what this says on this card. This strength, you are stronger than you think you are. Your strength assures a happy outcome. So maybe like in your personal life, you're like a little bit meek, so you question that fierceness in you. But this goddess energy channels into you when it's needed to know, to assure that you can create happy outcomes. And it's these trigger points of directionals that trigger that strength to come through when a happy outcome is needed. You can see where there's certain outcomes that you have the compass, you have the whole compass of life. You know the direction everything needs to go and take to have happy outcomes. And you're a real awakener, that fierce, that strong energy that you can step into when you need to, that I think that not everyone has even seen in you. When you do it, you awaken people. It is a force to be reckoned with. And I think that because it's reserved for special times. But when it's awakened, it is awakened, and you shake the earth, you shake the directions, and you create portals to interdimensional wisdom and guidance and knowledge that is just radical. And it's creating an incorporation in our world, in your being, of all the directions. Like you incorporate the directions of above, of the spirit world, of below, of the elements of nature and earth and primality, and the directions of life are, like the actual cardinal directions are associated with, specific energies and qualities and whatnot. And then this interdimensional port, like how to incorporate all the directions. You are the compass and the guiding star to awaken, to lead, to incorporate things that are bringing beautiful, happy outcomes. But it requires someone with a willingness to let fierceness be channeled into and through them, to a willingness to be awakened, a willingness to see the signs, to recognize the directional calls to action, and step up to them. So really, really powerful, you guys. Okay, so let's look at your more earthly powers and see. Yeah, a lot of these have definitely kind of felt like been inspired by these higher access magical qualities, gifts, connections. But through your personal experiences, through qualities you've developed over time with practice and made into skill, these are kind of the magic elements you possess, in a more practical, tangible way. So mysticism, totally. I love this. And I think this to me, like, a mystical quality in a person can oftentimes come off as, because you're like, that quality sort of puts you a little bit in, like, one foot in a different place. And so it can come off to a lot of people as like, that you may possess like, a passive quality or a spaciness, but that's not at all true. It's just that you're like straddling realms, so you're not fully, like on Earth all the time. And so I think that's why, in the Sekhmet card where it says you are stronger than you think you are, I think you've had a lot of reflection back to you that, like, maybe you're just kind of like a wafy, spacey person who's not that strong, but like actually you are so fierce, and it just takes the right directional, the right call to action, the right awakening to like show that. So not everyone sees it. But your mystical quality, this is why you have been granted the fact that you've worked on, consciously putting a foot in another realm, putting a part of your mind in another realm, being open enough, enough of a sponge, having open enough boundaries and awareness to be in another realm. That's why you've been gifted these spiritual, magical, access points and gifts and guides and whatever. It's directly because of this mysticism quality you've honed and worked on, and, really cultivated and cared for. You are someone who knows how to, dream and then weave your dreams into something real. Like, you are a total weaver, and a lot of times, like, that weaving element, when someone's just watching someone weave before it's finished, or when they're just starting, it can be like, what in the world are you, what is this thing you're doing? Like, I don't know. And then this, change, number 5, I love it. Like, you are the awakener. You are the person that, sees when balance needs to be restored. You've been given this gift because you are willing and open and excited, frankly, by change. Change does not scare you one iota, because you've seen through time and space. You've seen through the tangible and the material, so you're not scared to shake things up. Like, that's nothing to you. And, I think, most people, a lot of people are very fearful of this change. So there could also be this sort of like, the way some people react to spiders. They are sort of otherworldly. Like, anything that has more or less than 2 arms, humans tend to be like, what is that? And you have this essence, even though, you know, I'm sure the majority of you have 2 arms. Who knows? Things happen, but, generally we have 2 arms as humans. But there's something about your essence of you that's a little different than that has more arms, that has 8 arms, because you are working with the 4 directions, and you're working with the above realm and the below realm and interdimensional, directions at the same time, as having arms in this world. You have arms everywhere, and people can, in an essence way, feel that, and so might be like a little bit unsure of you, the way a lot of people react to spiders, you sometimes get that kind of reaction that's also sort of like made you question your strength, I think. But in reality, what is happening is you are weaving absolute magic. These are the threads of fate. These are the threads of stories. These are the threads of creation. Like, you know how to weave life into a symphony. You know how to compose. That is what it is. You know how to compose, and compose through being tapped into, even though this is like the practical stuff, by being tapped into other dimensions, you're composing in a practical way through mystical channels. So a lot of people don't really understand what you're up to, but that's okay, because you are the great awakener. You show who you really are in moments of crises. You are the first to show up in the crises because you knew it was coming. You're completely just tapped into that. You may have even had something to do with igniting the crises when you knew that that was what was required to create change, to awaken humanity, to awaken yourself, to awaken whoever, in order to incorporate the magic of life for a better outcome. What are the better outcomes you're aiming for when you awaken and create radical change that sort of scares people? What I really want to say is you guys should have a lot more self-confidence than you do, because you are forces. It doesn't show up on a consistent basis because you're doing so much work elsewhere. But you need to know that when that spark comes, when that awakening, when those moments of change come, it will be reflected back to you more clearly, the power that you are. That's not always reflected back to you because we're not always in crises, you know? And you shouldn't always live in crises. That's why you're not always in crises. It's meant for specific times, but use those moments of being reflected back to about who you are as the truth of who you are, not the reflection that is sort of like not understanding of what or who you are, or what you're about, or being just different. This is funny. I did not have this kind of channeling, like you guys are. There's so much in my head. I can't get it out. It's just like it's rapid fire, and I've missed so many things that came and went because it's like too much information downloading. But I think you guys know you have access to all the dimensions. You know all the things I'm not saying, that I'm not quick enough to catch. And your heart is so strong. You are very connected to your heart. And that's why you've been given this more warrior access. That's why you're trusted with that slightly violent energy, which, I don't think it needs to come out as violent, but it's like this destructive thing. Like, there's certain, like, watching a building be demolished might excite you in a way, but you're given the power of this because it wouldn't excite you if people were in it. It wouldn't excite you if it weren't being done for a better outcome. You are so connected to your heart to know the appropriate time for destruction, for awakening, for change, for bringing forth interdimensional information that's going to challenge consciousness. That's what is going on. Like, you're weaving new consciousness into place. You're changing and awakening consciousness with new updated things that will create better outcomes in life. And the reason you're given access to your more divine gifts is because you're so connected to your heart, and would never do or use these really radical powers to be hurtful, to create worse outcomes, you know? Wow. So powerful, you guys. And I just want to reiterate that, like, you need it reflected back to you what a powerhouse you are, because I don't think you get that reflected back to you often. And I want you to listen to that and trust it. And I think you know everything I've said, but you just, something in me is like, you just need it reflected back to you, because it's hard to believe, you know, how big and how powerful this is. And the time we're in, like, you know, things just feel so crazy in the world right now. Like, I think this information may be coming to you specifically now as, like, things are about to be activated in some way for you to step into that kind of radical abilities you have to make magic and better outcomes in life and in the world. Woo! So many cards wanted to come out there. I'm trying to decide what to do because I only took one for the others. You know what? I'm gonna take them. I hope this isn't complicated. This card, it was supposed to be one card, is supposed to sort of indicate how to elevate your more practiced magic, more conscious humanistic qualities that have turned into a magical ability for you, how to use them to elevate you to more spiritual places, and then how to ground the more, bring the more etheric, divine access to magic you have to help you in your more, in your manifesting of your more kind of material or mundane life. We've got 4 cards. I don't know. I'm feeling a little intimidated by this, but let's go. I think this is like all the ways you shake up life, maybe. Creation, life, yeah, fury. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Here's what we're gonna do. I see how it should be ordered. Yeah, you've got a fury in you. Don't be scared of that. It definitely needs to be channeled well, like maybe some physical activity. Sekhmet has some, she puts fury in you. You have to channel it well, but there are times when it righteously should be unleashed in the world. Not in this way. I don't like connecting it to this picture. I feel like this is like the, you know, it reminds me of the crazy Australian fires that just killed so many animals and hurt so many people and destroyed so much land. But this is just saying that you do, you know, you do have that potential for violence and destruction and fury. And so it should be channeled so that you don't hurt people. I mean, I don't think you're a violent person. I'm not saying that. But so it doesn't sort of leak out in passive ways or unmeant ways. So I think you do need to be connected to some like physical exercise to burn off some of that fire. Followed by like cooling, like burn the fire and then cool. Like, I think that needs to be a daily practice. But it's saying that, like, you know, channel it appropriately, and unleash it when you have those calls to action, when it feels appropriate in your heart. Because its purpose is breath, is creation, is life, is life and breath, creation and water. It's a completely new consciousness and ability in creating. It's almost like using that fury to awaken to elevate where humanity is, where you are, where whatever is that this is working through or towards, like, you know how to use that destruction in order to, like, this isn't like a transformation though. This is like a transcending. This isn't like rebirth. This is like awakening to a whole different way of being conscious, of living, of how life could be, you know. And it's, in the end, you're bringing just ultimate clarity, you know. That's the goal, is to be able to use your fury and your fire in order to, yeah, bring the clarity for much more beautiful life and creation to take place, to evolve. You're an evolving force. You're elevating, you're working to elevate consciousness. You're working to evolve the world. That's what this is all about. So using your gifts, the practical magic that you've cultivated in your life, the being able to weave and compose, that being connected to the heart, the ability to have one foot in other realms, what was the other card? That force for change, using that towards understanding the direction that evolution should be going in, that elevates those instincts and practical magics you have to have more spiritual essence around that and wisdom, and then bringing your more magical qualities of that Andean cross, of knowing all the directions, how to work with all the directions, how to incorporate them, to awaken, to destroy, to evolve. If it's all being channeled towards evolution, you can bring those down into your more grounded life to make your breath easier, to make creation easier, to make your life more clear and easy. So I think that's also like maybe being able to step out some of the confusion and fog that this mysticism brings, of like understanding the whole purpose of all of this is evolution. And if you understand that and keep your compass on that thing, like, you'll experience a lot more ease of breath and creation and clarity. Yeah, super cool. Okay, let's look at some tarot. Any advice of like how to use all this, how to stay connected to it, where to take it, anything that needs to come through. Fill in this card. Hanged Man. Oh, there were two. Seven of Earth. Seven of Water. Let's see. Get one more. Or actually, I think I just did five before. Yeah, okay. Never mind. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. I loved the Hangman. I think this is something, sorry, that sort of glare on it. Hate. Just move this light so it's, okay, that's better. Okay, so the Hangman, I'm going to start with that, the first card. I love this for you guys. It's very Neptunian. This is total mysticism. This is being willing to put your head in a different realm. Sorry, I was trying to point towards the cross, but it's gone. To put your head in different realms, to put your head in different spaces, to see the interdimensional spaces, to see above world and below world, the upper world, the lower world, all the realms, all the directions, all the interconnectedness. You're willing to put your perspective in places that are not so comfortable as a human. And it's transcending you. It's bringing enlightenment. It's bringing perspectives that through that willingness to do that work that I think you enjoy, but it's not always comfortable anyway. But most people aren't willing to do this. You're bringing. That's what allows you to bring that radical energy for change and awakening. So, yeah, this is just like confirming, like, that's your access point. That's what keeps you tapped into all of your magic, is like your willingness to live and place your perspective in realms we're not familiar with. And then I love the 2 7s coming through: 7 of earth, 7 of water. For whatever reason, in this reading, in the context of this reading, this feels like all of the realms that you're in a diversity of realms. The 7 to me, for whatever reason, in this reading, feels like diversity. You are diversifying your perspective both in emotional territory, in ethereal territory, in heart spaces, as well as in practical spaces, in material spaces, like knowing how to see many, many perspectives, a lot of diversity, which also is like this very compassionate thing coming through of like, you're not here to awaken and change and make things uncomfortable just because evolution. It's like you really value the beauty of the diversity of things, and you're just trying to show that by being open to diversity, being open to different perspectives, it only enhances life. You're trying to, create the better outcomes, like Second, but you're trying to beautify at the same time, like to show that being connected to the diversity of potential, of possibility, is what creates potential and possibility, a lot of people get siloed in tunnel vision, and you're just like very aware of the dimensions, and even in this realm of like all the diversity on earth, and just like so accepting and curious and aware and informing yourself of these perspectives that are around. And it's something, that energy of like how you're elevating as well as grounding some of this magic is like, it's really bringing creation and earth and clarity into the world, which is making evolution not just for the sake of evolution, but for the sake of betterment, of better outcomes. I love Pegasus here more than like what this is, the Ace of Airs. I just looked at Pegasus. You are a transporter. You've gone yourself on the back of a Pegasus, I think, many times to other realms, but you are open and ready and willing to bring humanity, that energy of the Pegasus, to another realm, to a whole new way of thinking. The power of thought elevated to how can we make it better? How can we make life better? And then this 5 of air, this ability to change, this ability to electrify the mind, to electrify humanity in the crowd. Like, this is a very Aquarian card. How to change the thoughts, the intentions, the mind, the ideas of humanity through bringing magic, through showing. This is just like a real willingness to step into your own uniqueness, to show what you've brought back from being, traveling with Pegasus, from putting your mind in different dimensions. Um, you have a network of magic that you've cultivated and collected, and yeah, it should be shared. The things you collect, this is saying they should be shared. You may not always get the easiest feedback because change scares people, but you don't realize how much, even in certain resistances, like it takes time to seep in sometimes, but you electrify people, you change how they think. And so don't be scared to do this. You may not get, your immediate feedback might be like, what? Um, but it seeps into them over time. So this willingness to just be your weirdo, but no, at the end of the day, you've changed things. So beautiful, you guys. I love this reading. It's amazing. You guys are amazing. Wow. Um, such powerful, profound work. Bravo. Anyway, if this reading resonated with you, if you liked it, let me know in the comments. I always appreciate a thumbs up, and of course, I love if you subscribe to see my other readings when they come up. And yeah, good luck with this. I hope this has clarified some things for you. I think you needed some reflection that was more real to who you are and seeing you, like a witness to who you are, because I don't think very many people can witness this energy and reflect it to you. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you, and I will see you guys in the next reading. See ya.